Iraqi Dinar Today latest news starts now. The digital whispers have amplified into a roar across investor forums and live-stream chats, all centered around the tantalizing phrase, live revaluation RV testing. The sheer volume of this chatter, suggesting hidden Iraqi dinar activity, has sparked major community attention, captivating those who hold the currency, follow global exchange movements, or simply track trending financial narratives. This story has rapidly moved from isolated message boards to the forefront of online currency discussions, creating a wave of speculation that demands a thorough, balanced examination. Before jumping to any conclusions, it's vital to dissect the genesis of these claims, understand the environment that allows such rumors to proliferate, and explore the nuanced reactions within the long-standing community. This analysis aims to break down the mechanics of this surge in attention, interpreting what the buzz truly signifies for the thousands following the conversation without resorting to hype or definitive pronouncements. The online community, dedicated to following the Iraqi dinar, has been intensely stimulated by new, unverified assertions pointing toward possible behind-the-scenes movements or system tests within global banking networks. These claims range from purported screenshots of unusual activity to anecdotal reports of financial system pings that some are interpreting as preparatory steps for a major event. It is essential to emphasize that none of these reports have been officially validated by Iraq's central bank, government agencies, or established international financial institutions. Yet, the rapid and widespread dissemination of these ideas is a phenomenon in itself, driven by the years of anticipation and a collective hope for significant monetary reform. This latest episode underscores the community's deep sensitivity to any perceived shift, transforming even minor, unexplained details into potential clues of impending progress. The sudden explosion of excitement originated when several prominent community platforms and chat groups began circulating information, often fragmented or technically opaque, that was immediately deemed suspicious and significant by its readers. These varied accounts, despite their lack of official confirmation, resonated deeply with many holders who have committed years to following the topic, eager for any indication of a fundamental change in the dinar's status. In decentralized online spaces, individuals quickly started cross-referencing notes, presenting their interpretations, and connecting isolated data points to form a cohesive, albeit speculative, narrative. Suggestions arose that certain back-end financial software or currency tracking tools were exhibiting atypical behavior, while others focused on subtle fluctuations they believed were outside normal parameters. The sheer momentum gained by these unverified discussions is testament to the collective desire for a breakthrough, even though caution dictates relying only on officially published statements. What makes this surge particularly compelling is the almost instantaneous evolution of a single unconfirmed comment into a multitude of threads, video analyses, and platform-specific reinterpretations. Followers who have tracked the Iraqi dinar for years are familiar with the cyclical nature of these rumors. Yet the current wave has garnered unusually focused attention. This is partly because the timing of the claims aligns with the long-held hope that some form of movement or resolution might be finally imminent. Regardless of the factual basis of the claims, the unprecedented level of community engagement and focused discussion is the undeniable reality we are currently analyzing. It highlights a group keenly attuned to its shared anticipation, where every small piece of digital information is scrutinized for deeper, hidden meaning. The psychology behind the evolution of financial rumors, especially within communities bound by long-term anticipation, is fascinating. When individuals dedicate years to monitoring a particular topic, they inevitably develop a heightened awareness of even minor deviations or changes. A single piece of visual evidence, be it genuine, a technical glitch, or simply misinterpreted, can swiftly transform into a widely accepted theory that propagates across thousands of viewers and listeners. Experts in digital group dynamics note that communities sharing a powerful, sustained hope often tend to amplify signals that correspond with their desired outcome. This tendency is not a sign of poor judgment, but rather a universal human trait: the search for meaningful patterns in an environment of prolonged uncertainty. In the context of the Iraqi Dinar, the community has endured more than a decade of conflicting timelines, policy delays, debates over national financial reform, and inconsistent news from Iraq's economic sector. Consequently, when a claim, no matter how tenuous, suggests that testing or a major internal process is underway, the idea instantly finds fertile ground. Longtime participants are prompted to revisit and compare older predictions, consult with peers, and meticulously monitor every new online contribution for additional hints. This behavior establishes a powerful positive feedback loop. The more intensely the alleged activity is discussed, the more tangible and real the rumor feels, regardless of the persistent absence of official verification. Understanding this psychological and social dynamic is crucial for approaching the ongoing conversation with necessary clarity, perspective, and tempered expectations. As the current rumor cycle gained traction, social media platforms reacted in ways that are both expected and deeply illuminating. Content creators on major video platforms quickly began producing reaction and analysis clips. Short-form video hosts provided rapid-fire breakdowns, and traditional discussion forums experienced a measurable spike in daily user activity. The response spectrum was broad. Some voices adopted a carefully cautious approach, urging audiences to treat unverified claims with skepticism and restraint, while others leaned heavily into the speculative drama, presenting mere hearsay as though it were confirmed breaking news. This diversity of reactions is characteristic of any financial rumor that achieves viral status online. The more sensational and dramatic the underlying claim, the faster its digital dissemination, primarily because platform algorithms often prioritize and reward content that generates high engagement, rather than strictly focusing on accuracy or factual merit. This encourages a rapid rush of viewers to consume any and all content that suggests imminent progress, even if the primary source is obscured or lacking credibility. Simultaneously, more measured and cautious voices attempt to restore balance, actively trying to counter the growing excitement by reminding the community to depend solely on verifiable, publicly released information, rather than on hearsay or unconfirmed chatter. This ongoing tension, where hype meets skepticism and hope confronts caution, is a core element driving the daily dialogue, leaving thousands of followers to sift through the noise in search of clarity. Financial analysts who closely observe global currency markets are quick to point out that claims alleging hidden RV tests or secret back-end activity fall well outside the established framework of documented monetary policy. They unequivocally state that fundamental changes to official exchange rates, whether in Iraq or any nation, are formalized and announced publicly by a central bank or the relevant Ministry of Finance. The notion of a completely hidden, unannounced revaluation or a quiet currency overhaul being secretly tested in global financial systems runs counter to every standard operating procedure. These experts strongly caution against interpreting isolated, unexplained data or technical anomalies as definitive proof of a major financial event, noting that system fluctuations are a constant, routine occurrence that rarely signal policy shifts. Nevertheless, analysts acknowledge that speculation around the Iraqi dinar persists because Iraq's economy remains a work in progress, undergoing occasional reforms that naturally stimulate discussion online. The critical distinction they emphasize is the separation between legitimate economic news, such as announced legislative changes or official central bank actions, and the unsupported, high speculative claims often circulated within closed community groups. For ethical and responsible reporting, experts stress the necessity of concentrating on confirmed developments. Official public legislation, documented central bank directives, or formally announced shifts in currency policy. They maintain a balanced understanding, recognizing that hope is a powerful motivator. And after years of anticipation, individuals are inclined to interpret virtually any new piece of chatter as potentially meaningful. Despite the continuous cycles of uncertainty, policy delays, and shifting narratives, the online Iraqi Dinar community remains one of the most active groups dedicated to discussing global currencies. For many holders, the decision to remain engaged stems from a feeling of long-term commitment and investment in following every update and development. For others, the appeal lies in the shared camaraderie of analyzing theories, exchanging observations, and collectively watching for any potential signs of change. A shared identity has been forged around the core values of patience, resilience, and optimism. With the arrival of every new rumor, regardless of its basis in reality, the community experiences a renewed surge of energy. This collective behavior ensures that the topic never entirely loses momentum. When a compelling rumor like the idea of live RV testing emerges, the excitement serves as a magnetic force drawing people in, even if their ultimate perspective remains skeptical. For a substantial segment of the community, the process of following the news, the research, the discussion, and the analysis is as meaningful as the underlying speculation itself. It moves beyond the simple outcome and becomes a deep-rooted social experience centered on shared, long-term interest. This inherent social dynamic fundamentally explains the speed at which rumors propagate and why engagement levels remain consistently high, even without official verification. As the conversation surrounding this alleged hidden activity continues to dominate the discourse, many respected and seasoned community members are actively advocating for a grounded and balanced approach. They strongly advise against panic, against making assumptions based on extreme hypothetical scenarios, and most importantly, against basing any personal financial decisions solely on online chatter. Instead, they frame this moment as a powerful reminder to stay meticulously organized, to remain diligently informed, and to maintain realistic expectations aligned with official, public communication. They continually stress the absolute necessity of verifying any piece of information through official channels, rather than relying on unsourced screenshots or ambiguous, generalized claims. For those new to the conversation, experienced followers often explain that similar cycles of excitement and speculation have occurred repeatedly over the years. While they validate the immediate rush of optimism, they caution that maintaining measured expectations is paramount to long-term emotional and financial health. This consistent, steadying influence is widely appreciated within the community, as it effectively limits the spread of confusion and helps maintain a healthier, more fact-based atmosphere within the various discussion platforms. Responsible and clear communication plays a vital role in ensuring the community remains resilient, informed, and resistant to potential misinformation. Whether an individual ultimately finds the rumors convincing or doubts them entirely, approaching the entire conversation with critical thinking and a large measure of patience is beneficial for all involved. The expanding conversation around live RV testing has provided fresh evidence of how online communities interpret and create meaning from periods of sustained financial uncertainty. Long-term participants often recount how, when a focal topic spans many years, it becomes second nature to interpret every small fluctuation as a potential signal. Whether it is a benign glitch in a banking application, an unexplained screenshot from a currency tracker, or an anomalous number posted in a chat, individuals naturally begin to assemble these fragments into an imagined, larger pattern. This practice of pattern building has become an established tradition within the Iraqi Dinar community, where members exchange theories, compare timelines, and reflect on past predictions that seemed absolutely certain at the time. The current focus is simply another iteration of this continuing tradition, people interpreting anything that appears unusual as a potential precursor to a significant event. This does not validate the rumors themselves, but it powerfully demonstrates the depth of the community's investment in following every minute detail. It also explains why this particular rumor cycle grew so extensive after years of quiet. Even the mere suggestion of behind-the-scenes activity generates immense excitement. This psychological draw of potential hidden progress is significant, and for many remaining engaged provides both intellectual entertainment and the preservation of a hope that a meaningful development could eventually materialize. Another crucial element fueling the conversation is the ease with which technical details can be misunderstood and consequently misreported when people interpret them without the necessary context. For example, when someone posts a screenshot from a financial data terminal or notices a peculiar numeric display on a currency tracking site, the lack of official explanation often leads others to immediately treat those details as direct evidence of policy changes, even if they are completely unrelated to Iraq's actual monetary strategy. Financial platforms undergo constant, routine updates, reflecting everything from scheduled maintenance today to synchronization, but to someone waiting years for a specific outcome, these ordinary maintenance updates can feel like coded hints of something monumental. This dynamic is not unique to the dinar community. It occurs in many groups centered on highly anticipated financial or societal shifts. It serves as a potent reminder that in the absence of official, explicit explanations, individuals will inevitably fill the informational voids with their own interpretations and theories. This underscores the paramount importance for all viewers, listeners, and readers to approach every new claim with extreme caution and to consciously avoid treating unverified speculation as a confirmed fact. Despite the understandable emotional reactions that occur when uncertainty meets powerful hope, small, isolated details can feel overwhelmingly significant. This is precisely why balanced, credible sources are so vital. They perform the essential function of filtering out the noise and preventing confusion from spreading unchecked. We must also acknowledge the pervasive role of long-form discussions in shaping the collective perception of this topic. Many influential channels host multi-hour live streams where participants exchange developing theories in real time. Within these high-engagement, dynamic environments, ideas rapidly evolve. A rumor mentioned by one person is immediately embellished by another's interpretation, and a simple comment can quickly inflate into a complex, sprawling narrative. While these discussions foster a strong sense of community, connection, and shared purpose, they also demonstrate how easily speculation can escape its original context. When numerous voices actively build upon an unverified or incomplete claim, it becomes progressively harder for new or less informed viewers to separate confirmed fact from analytical theory or pure speculation. This is why responsible hosts take explicit measures to frequently repeat their disclaimers and constantly remind their audiences that nothing is officially confirmed. They operate with the critical understanding that their every utterance carries substantial weight, and that viewers may interpret every detail with profound seriousness. This consistently cautious and transparent tone is crucial for mitigating misunderstandings, especially during moments of high excitement like the current rumor surge. Long-form conversations are indeed valuable, but their utility depends entirely on being paired with clarity, caution, and complete transparency about what is definitively known and what remains firmly in the realm of theory. As these discussions persist, a notable number of community members have begun to specifically call for a greater emphasis on critical thinking. They emphasize that while maintaining hope is a perfectly valid human emotion, it must never be allowed to override or obscure factual reality. These voices often point out that the Iraqi government agencies, most importantly the central bank, are mandated to publicly release information when any major monetary changes are enacted. These official updates are accessible to everyone. They are not intended to be hidden or secret, nor are they dependent on private screenshots circulated online. Members who champion caution explain that simply understanding this process is the most effective way to protect oneself from disappointment. If an individual operates with the knowledge that official changes must be publicly announced, they become far less susceptible to believing claims that something monumental is occurring in complete secrecy. These voices of reason serve to remind the community that any genuine monetary reform is a process that requires extensive planning, interagency coordination, and publicly documented steps. Their primary goal is not to suppress discussion, but rather to strengthen it by firmly grounding it in realistic, verifiable expectations. This balanced approach fosters a healthier overall environment, allowing people to enjoy following the news and rumors without subjecting themselves to the risk of falling prey to misleading information. Another layer of the ongoing conversation involves how general economic news emanating from Iraq is frequently interpreted on the international stage. Any update, regardless of whether it pertains to routine banking reforms, minor policy adjustments, anti-corruption initiatives, or even shifts in trade relationships, has the potential to trigger speculation that a much larger financial movement is underway. A unique situation is created where genuine, factual news and speculative commentary often blend seamlessly. People may read an entirely legitimate headline and then proceed to affix a speculative meaning to it, extending far beyond the original, intended context. For instance, an upgrade to Iraq's digital payment system might be immediately interpreted by some as a sign that broader monetary changes are imminent. If a new international financial agreement is officially announced, others might instantly assume it is a clear precursor to a shift in currency policy. These kinds of interpretations often reveal more about the community's deep-seated hopes than they do about actual facts, yet they strongly demonstrate the intense level of engagement. Many followers have a genuine interest in Iraq's economic stability and desire to witness its long-term growth. However, a clear understanding of the difference between normal, ongoing modernization efforts and major, fundamental monetary policy changes is essential for keeping the entire conversation grounded. This knowledge helps ensure that excitement remains a healthy component of the discussion, rather than allowing it to drift into the realm of unrealistic expectations. In addition to analyzing the specific rumors, it is valuable to examine why the very idea of hidden activity holds such significant appeal for the community. For many, the concept of secret, quiet progress offers a profound sense of reassurance during long periods where official updates are slow, non-existent, or ambiguous. When official governmental communication is limited, human nature dictates a search for alternative explanations. The notion that something essential might be taking place behind the scenes provides a sense of hope and forward momentum to followers, even when there is absolutely no official, verifiable evidence to support the claim. This emotional aspect is fundamentally important to acknowledge, as it reveals that the conversation is not merely about financial speculation, but also deeply connected to the human desire for closure, progress, and resolution. Many individuals have been holding the Iraqi dinar for years, in some cases even decades. They have patiently endured countless predictions, closely monitored every minute shift in Iraq's complex economic landscape, and navigated through multiple, exhausting cycles of intense optimism followed by disappointment. In this historical context, rumors suggesting hidden activity can feel profoundly comforting. They offer the distinct possibility that movement does exist, even if it has yet to be publicly communicated or confirmed. Recognizing and respecting this emotional dimension is key to understanding why these rumor waves become so vast and why consistently responsible communication is absolutely critical to prevent potential confusion and profound misunderstanding among the followers. Some community members have adopted a more analytical and historical approach by deliberately focusing on the observable patterns and cycles of rumors over the years. They note that every few months, a fresh wave of excitement reliably emerges, invariably built upon interpretations of unusual data, snippets of banking software chatter, or vague, unverified claims. These cycles follow a predictable, established pattern. A rumor spreads rapidly, the community reacts with fervor, discussions intensify dramatically, skepticism eventually grows, and then the excitement slowly subsides until the next wave inevitably arrives. By consciously studying these cycles, experienced followers have learned to emotionally regulate themselves. They recognize that each sudden surge in attention is not necessarily a definitive indication of real-world policy change, but rather a reflection of the community's enduring and fervent interest. This historical perspective is highly effective in helping people remain calm and avoid making impulsive reactions driven by emotion. It also actively encourages a more measured, stable, and long-term understanding of the complex topic. Many experienced members actively share this valuable wisdom with newcomers, consistently reminding them that patience and clear, objective thinking are the most essential tools in their arsenal. This analytical viewpoint does not eliminate speculation, but it successfully creates a far more stable and grounded foundation for all discussions. It empowers people to engage with and enjoy the conversation without feeling emotionally overwhelmed by every piece of new, unverified chatter. In a topic constantly enveloped in uncertainty, these steady, well-informed voices play an essential role in maintaining critical balance. Concurrently, it is important to acknowledge that the act of speculation itself serves a significant social function. Many individuals genuinely enjoy the process of tracking rumors, comparing their individual notes, and collectively imagining the potential future outcomes. These activities create a strong sense of connection, shared excitement, and a collective purpose. They transform a complex, highly technical financial topic into a unique, community-driven, and highly participatory experience. This social appeal is precisely why conversations centered on live testing or hidden activity propagate so rapidly and effectively. They provide the community with a shared subject to analyze, debate, and generate collective energy around a topic that otherwise moves at a glacial pace. Even those followers who express outright skepticism about the veracity of the rumors often enjoy discussing them because the conversations are typically lively, energetic, and engaging. This enjoyment does not equate to a belief in the rumors, but it explains their extensive draw and reach. When a community has been engaged in a long-term vigil for many years, these temporary moments of collective excitement can feel profoundly refreshing. They serve as a powerful reminder of the initial motivation for following the topic in the first place. As long as participants clearly understand that speculation is, by its very nature, purely speculative and not confirmed fact, engaging with it can be a harmless and even deeply enjoyable part of the overall experience. The ultimate key lies in constantly maintaining perspective and drawing a clear, unambiguous line between entertainment and established reality. Some concerned viewers have rightfully raised valid issues regarding the potential for misinformation, noting that not all voices or content creators within the community approach the topic with the necessary level of responsibility. A few creators may deliberately exaggerate their claims or present unverified theories, as if they were already confirmed facts. This practice poses a serious risk of misleading individuals who are new to the conversation or who are not familiar with the long, documented history of rumor cycles. To effectively counteract this, many of the most responsible channels actively prioritize and emphasize transparency. They clearly delineate when they are reporting on officially confirmed news, when they are offering their personal analysis, and when they are simply addressing pure circulating speculation. This high degree of clarity is crucial for protecting viewers from confusion and significantly raises the overall quality of the community discussion by actively encouraging accuracy and honesty. Some of these responsible creators even take the time to actively debunk widely circulating misleading claims to prevent the spread of harmful misinformation. This difficult balance between generating excitement and maintaining ethical responsibility is paramount. It ensures that the community remains reliably informed rather than susceptible to being misled. Misinformation has the power to cause unnecessary emotional stress or foster profoundly unrealistic expectations. It is therefore a positive sign to observe many creators actively committing to clear, factual communication. As the latest rumor wave continues to unfold, this steadfast emphasis on accurate, verified information remains essential for the community's well-being. As people navigate the current spike in focused attention, a central, recurring theme emphasized by seasoned members is the absolute importance of emotional management. Financial speculation, particularly when tied to significant long-term hopes, can be a source of intense psychological stress. Many long-term holders openly share feelings of frustration, deep exhaustion, or corrosive skepticism after years of waiting for a definitive outcome. While these emotions are entirely normal and understandable, intense rumor waves have the power to dramatically intensify them. When collective excitement surges, individuals can often find themselves oscillating rapidly between extreme optimism and profound doubt. Some even feel intense pressure to align with certain claims simply because the community is buzzing. This emotional roller coaster, while understandable, can be incredibly draining. To maintain personal balance and resilience, seasoned community members often recommend taking intentional breaks from the discussions, actively focusing on everyday life, and treating rumors as simple background noise rather than life-altering events. They serve as powerful reminders that no unofficial claim, regardless of how exciting or credible it may sound, should ever be allowed to dictate one's mood or one's financial decisions. By grounding themselves emotionally, individuals remain healthier and more resilient to the inevitable cycles of hype and disappointment. Emotional stability is just as vital as financial prudence, and both contribute to creating a more positive and sustainable environment for everyone involved in the discussion. A final important perspective involves the aspect of education. Many followers wisely utilize these recurring rumor waves as valuable opportunities to deepen their understanding of how global currencies and central banks actually operate. They dedicate time to studying the mechanics of central banking, how official exchange rates are determined, and the complex influence of international economics on a nation's monetary decisions. This educational approach is highly effective in empowering people to distinguish between realistic, achievable possibilities and exaggerated, unsupported claims. It significantly enhances their ability to analyze and process news more effectively. When an individual understands the foundational mechanics of currency policy, they become considerably less likely to be swayed by unverified theories. This focus on learning transforms speculation into a valuable educational experience rather than a source of stress. Many platforms now dedicate time to offering basic, clear explanations of foreign exchange market functions, the impact of inflation on currency value, and how governmental decisions shape monetary policy. These sustained educational efforts make the community stronger, more informed, and better equipped to shift the conversation from blind speculation toward thoughtful, analytical engagement. Even for those primarily interested in the dinar due to future financial hopes, gaining knowledge about currency mechanics offers profound, long-term benefits, fostering greater financial literacy and encouraging a more responsible level of participation in the community discussions. In conclusion, the immense and prolonged attention currently fixed on the phrase, live RV testing, hidden Iraqi dinar activity sparks major community attention, captures far more than just a passing rumor. It serves as a powerful mirror reflecting the long-term psychology, the sustained passion, and the intense engagement of a truly global community. While there remains no verified evidence to substantiate the claims of a hidden revaluation test or secret banking activity, and reputable analysts consistently stress that official currency actions are always announced publicly, the discussions themselves offer vital insights. They eloquently reveal how people interpret profound uncertainty, how online communities generate collective meaning, and how the power of hope shapes conversations across extended periods of time. They also strongly underscore the critical value of responsible communication, careful critical thinking, and disciplined emotional balance. For anyone following the dinar, whether for news analysis, market tracking, or community connection, understanding these deep-seated dynamics is essential for navigating the conversation with clarity, confidence, and grounded expectations.